Regardless of where you go in life, nothing is ever certain. You can plan for the best, hope for the worst, but in the long term, things are going to happen in your life regardless of what you plan and outside forces. And that's something I want to talk to you about today. So obviously today I am not in the standard studio. I am on my way to pick up a client who is moving to Serbia. And this past week I have been bombarded with consultations from people all over the world. And some of you have come in from YouTube, some of you have been coming in from my website, various sources, social media, and I appreciate every single one of you that have reached out and sat down with Consultations and making that move to Serbia. And some of you just want to come and visit before you make that move, which is also very understandable and highly recommendable by myself and many of the other people that we've worked with. But one of the things that has really come up in the consultations that we've been doing is a question as to what is the financial, what is going to be the future of Serbia, especially when it comes with the protests. Some are fearing political changes, whatever it might be. Now, I can understand where people come from, because moving to a new country is difficult on its own. However, there are things that you cannot control. And one of the things that I try and let people know is that, I can't give people a crystal ball as to what is going to be happening in the future. If I was able to do that, I would be somewhere else in this world. I would not be in the position I'm in this world. Frankly, I've made a lot of good moves in my life that have put me in a position of, where I am right now in life. However, you can plan and do what you need to do in your life to better your future. However, having a crystal ball is something that you cannot predict. Now, one of the things that comes to my mind when I think about these questions that I get is that, what is the current state of where you're currently living now? And when I think about what's going on in the United States, what's happening in Canada, what's happening in places in Western Europe, down in Africa, none of those places are completely resistant from change, from political changes, from rules changes, law changes. And just because you are currently living in the country that you're watching this video from does not mean that something cannot happen there that's going to put your life in a very difficult situation. The issue is that you are currently comfortable with the unstable future of where you're currently living. And moving to another country, like I just mentioned, is very stressful to begin with. And adding that layer of uncertainty is just going to make that decision that much harder. But what I can say from what I see in Serbia, and I don't mean to sound biased by any means, because this is what I do as a business, is I help people move to Serbia. I feel that if you move to Serbia, that you are now in a much better place, not because you are in Serbia, but now you also have a plan B. Because if you are in your current country right now and only have that one passport, you only have that one residency, whatever it might be, you only have that one house that you can go to, you do not have a plan B to fall back on. Now, what is the worst thing that could happen if you move to Serbia? You know, you move to Serbia, you settle down, you buy a piece of property, you set up a business, and these are all things that we do here at Relocation Serbia and help all our clients with because of the bureaucracy and you know, the way the system runs here is very unclear, and so we streamline that for our clients. And if you're also looking to come here as a visit, you know, we do have a tourist guide, we have a relocation guide that you can purchase and kind of get some insight and you know, some information as to what to do when you come here and what the cost of living is, for instance. However, moving here, you know, you get everything set up and something happens, all right? People are also talking about the troops being removed from the NATO base in Kosovo, and is that gonna spark a war, and what's gonna happen? And, you know, you can have that problem anywhere you go. When COVID happened in Canada, people were so naive that nothing's gonna happen because in Canada, because it's across the ocean and it's not coming here. Next thing you know, everything's shut down. They're not gonna lock us down here. Next thing you know, lockdowns came into place. And Canada, where I was at that point in time, was one of the hardest countries under lockdown conditions, with the longest lockdowns, I believe, after Australia. Don't quote me on that. It's been a few years since that happened, but I know we were under the most strict conditions in Canada, and no one ever thought that would happen. And that's the point that I made of, hey, listen, we need to move to another country, have a plan B. And Serbia, yes, it did have lockdowns, it did have conditions, but guess what? Because of the way the people are in Serbia, Serbia lifted their conditions by being one of the first countries in Europe to come out of lockdown and remove all rules, while the rest of the world was still in lockdown mode. And you could be in the country you are right now, and you know, you could have martial law imposed. You could lose your job and be completely bankrupt, because in North America especially, we live on a credit-based system in North America where that everybody is in debt. There's a statistic out there that has shown that people in North America, about 70 or 80% of the people in North America, are one paycheck away from complete financial ruin. And so what would be the negative of, hey, listen, we're gonna pack up and move to a country that has a lot more freedom than anywhere in North America, right? We have in Canada a saying that we are free and this and that, but we have so many rules in place in North America that it is not as free as many people think. You cannot play your music as loud. You cannot drink alcohol in public. Not that I'm condoning, you know, drinking alcohol in public, but you know, here in Serbia, if you wanted to drink a beer and walk down the street, no one's going to charge you for public intoxication. You also have the freedom of speech here. Again, no country truly has freedom of speech, but you have a lot more here than I would say you have in Canada, especially. But in the United States, you also don't have it. Try and say something in North America against a certain, you know, ethnicity, a certain religion, and see how you are scolded. I just read that a guy in Canada has been fined just over $300,000 because he made the comment on social media that trans people are, they like little kids. I don't want to say the word, so I get censored. Now, I'm not saying he was right or wrong in making that comment. Everybody has their beliefs and everybody's entitled to their beliefs. However, because he made that post online and someone took offense, he was fined that. There was nobody injured, no one, lost property or anything like that. You just had simple hurt feelings. I believe that's a lot more scary than moving to a country such as Serbia and being like, hey, listen, this might happen, this might happen. If anything did happen in Serbia after you moved here, say the protests cause a civil war, say there was a war that happened in Kosovo because the troops are getting pulled out there, you still have the option of going back to where you came from. You're not giving up your current citizenship by simply moving to Serbia, because Serbia allows dual citizenship. The only reason you would have to give up your current citizenship is if your country that you're coming from into Serbia requires you to renounce it. So that's something we can clear up when it comes to our consultation or when we move forward in a residency process. But the idea of what is going to happen in the future, if that's something that you live with, to me, one, it's a poor mindset, because what happens if you don't wake up tomorrow? What happens? There's going to be your family and friends are going to be happy about it, but your life is over, essentially. What happens if you get sick in your current country, right? That's something else that could happen. And yes, you can eat well, you can exercise, so on and so forth, but one thing for sure is in Serbia, there are not obese people such as we have in North America. Why? Because the food quality in Serbia is that much healthier. We don't have all the GMOs and all the pesticides and all the stuff that they put in North American food. We don't have engineered food. We don't have all the fake food that you have in North America, such as here. That, to me, would say it's a great thing. You have also better healthcare than you do in Canada. And I know a lot of the Serbs here will push back and be like, well, you got free healthcare there, and the wait times here are horrible, and the whatever it might be. In Canada, yeah, it's free healthcare, but if you're waiting for 8 to 9 months to see a specialist, and then the next thing you know, you need to go in for an amputation because you didn't see a specialist in time, I would say that's, even if it's free, that's pretty bad, because I need that ligament that they're about to amputate. I'd rather, pay a little bit more, such as here in Serbia. Even though I'm a citizen, I have used private healthcare, which I love. I've used public healthcare, which I find is a lot better, and I've used it for both myself and my son. And I find the pediatricians here, pediatric hospitals here for kids are fantastic. You don't come in for a 1 o'clock appointment and get seen at 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. You're set, you're done, you get your results right away. So for those that have those feelings of, hey, listen, what if things go wrong in your current country? What is your next option? Because if you don't have a plan B, you don't have a plan at all. You're basically stuck as where you are right now. And the way that I see that, Canada is going, and sure, the United States is going to be great, in my opinion, under Trump for the next 4 years. But what happens after Trump? Trudeau stepped down in Canada, and now you have an individual that stepped in by the name of Mark Carney, where there was no vote, right? Where was the public vote for him to come into play? Meanwhile, Mark Carney has not lived in Canada for, I believe it's 10 years. He holds 3 passports. He worked for the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England, right? And so when I think about that, I'm thinking, hey, listen, how much further is Canada going to go down that hole that they're digging themselves into? Because Mark Carney himself has come out and said, hey, listen, I am a globalist, and that's what I am. And he's already admitted that he's not a Canadian, he is a European. So Mark Carney's going to come in there, cause a bunch of ruckus. He promises things like politicians do all the time, and that's what politicians do. They promise one thing and then they do another, just get into office. But that happens all over the world, and he's got to deal with it. But take it into your hands and be like, hey, listen, I'm going to make that move. It is March right now. It is 24 degrees here in Serbia right now at 1:30 in the afternoon. And Canada is still in the minus. Tourist season is coming up big time sooner than later here in Serbia, and we've been bombarded by the amount of people that are already reaching out to us for their relocation needs. So being that people are boycotting the United States and Canada because of the tariff wars that they're having there, come and check out Serbia. If you're from the United States and you don't know what's going to happen after Trump's done, come and check out Serbia. It's going to be beautiful here. Things are out in bloom. Festivals are going to be starting to happen. The patios are all opening up. The kafanas are all opening up. It's absolutely a great time to come and visit. And if you want to know what your options are when it comes to residency, hit me up. I'd love to discuss what your options are. Maybe it's citizenship by descent. Maybe you have someone that was born here, you have some land here, and that's some people that we've been helping too, that are actually coming in from Australia and another part of Western Europe. And so they want to reclaim their citizenship just so that they have that plan B, not that their intention is on actually moving here, but they want to have that option of, hey, listen, if things go SOL in the country that I'm currently at, I have that extra passport to come here. But if you want, you could also come get your temporary residency, spend 6 months in Serbia, spend 6 months in your other country, and ultimately make that other decision as to what you prefer. But one of the other questions I got in the consultation is, how many people of the people that you've helped move over actually stayed in Serbia? And I can say that it's close to 100%. I'm not going to say 100% because there has been some clients that have moved to Serbia and decided to leave. And some of them are YouTubers and their channel has gone stagnant. Some of them are non-YouTubers. And the reason being is that they didn't move here because they couldn't make things work. It came because they had a sick relative, right, that they had to go and take care of. Someone that got into a major life-threatening car crash, and they have to now be the caretakers of that said person. Someone who, came here and didn't get the right to work in Serbia because they set up a business, and as an entrepreneur, it's very difficult to start getting your feet off the ground, especially if you've been an employee all your life. If you've been an employee all your life and try and get into entrepreneurship, I can tell you right now, you're going to be working harder as an entrepreneur than you will be as an employee. And so if your idea is to come here and obtain temporary residency by setting up a company, you can't just set up a company and say, I have a company and I got my temporary residency, I don't need to do anything. Serbia will audit you to make sure that you're actually sending out invoices, that you're sending out you're getting clients, you're an actual legitimate business. And so you actually have to get clients here. Now, there's a lot of opportunity for various business here, and that's something that, again, we can discuss when it comes to that time. But you have to figure out what's best for you. I can't say, hey, listen, do X, Y, and Z business, because that's what the opportunity is available for here in Serbia. If you don't have the heart and the passion to do that type of work, you know, it's gonna be a job, and you're gonna lose the steam of moving forward and growing that business sooner rather than later. You have to get into something that you actually and truly love. And that's why I do what I do with Relocation Serbia. I love growing a team. I love employing people here in Serbia and giving people paychecks. I love bringing people into Serbia here that want a better life, to make that process easier here, to give them that peace of mind knowing, hey, listen, all I gotta do is come here and figure out my life, buy a house. I don't have to worry about the paperwork. I don't have to worry about finding the correct people to work with, the right attorneys, the right accountants, bookkeepers, real estate agents, whatever it might be. They come work with us, and we have that are English speaking as well, that'll take care of them, that listens to their needs, and everything goes on without a hitch. Now, I'm not saying there are no bumps, that we do not experience trouble. There are some things that we do experience. However, you know, we know as a professional team what is required to get past those hurdles and move that process forward. So I hope that gave people insight and some clarification as to what my thoughts are when you have those worries about moving to Serbia. I'm going to cut this video short because I am about to go pay my toll. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. Hit that like button so that this video can get out to the people that need it, and hit that bell notification so that you can get notified when I drop more videos. I'll see you on the next one.